your girl Hannah B, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be, if I keep looking back and forth, it's because I'm actually looking in the camera and not at myself, but I look at myself a lot, so sorry. Today's video is something that I have been promising for a super duper long time, and I'm finally getting around to filming it. Okay, I think I've been promising this story literally since I moved back to Mississippi. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. Y'all know all the things: subscribe, hit the notification bell, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HannahBurnellW. So this story is about my homeless story, or my homelessness story, and what it was like being homeless in Atlanta. A lot of people know but don't know, so if you don't know, I think you guys should go back and check out my... Okay, we're back. What were we talking about? My eviction story. If you have not watched that story time, I'm going to put it in the cue card up here. I don't know what side it's going to be on, but you'll see it when it pops out. I'm going to put it up there so that you guys can, you know, have a little preface to that story. But yeah, this is basically what it was just like being homeless. I had really 3 bouts of homelessness, but 2 of the bouts of homelessness were like actual homelessness. So my first experience with being homeless was right after we left the Airbnb, and we did not get an apartment until October, right? We left the Airbnb in July, right at the beginning of July. So the first thing that we did was we were in and out of other Airbnbs. We probably generated enough money to stay places for a week at a time. The very last place that we stayed was literally like a boarding house, but it was not a super ideal situation for a female individual, especially being left by herself. But that's what was happening. After what did I name the other female roommate? Talia, I think. After Talia left and it was just me and Landon on our own, it was just me and Landon, we were left together, and so we did some couch hopping, and we stayed at one girl's place that literally, I'm gonna make a story time about her because she had me all the way effed up, okay? And I'm still kind of holding a grudge because she don't care, and she's like way older than me. Like, she was like 31 at the time and I was 24. So now that I am almost the age that she was at the time, and like she's almost 40, whatever. I'm gonna make a story time about her though. Like, I already got the script wrote out. Don't be stressed about it. But yeah, we couch shopped at her house sometimes, but a lot of the times we were sleeping in the car. We would sleep in her apartment's complex's parking garage. And then sometimes, and then we also, before we started sleeping in the car, because we did sleep in the car a lot, like at least for not a month, but maybe like probably about a month, 3 or 4 weeks, we were sleeping in the car. And then there were times we were sleeping in the car consistently. But before we started doing that, we also stayed at one of Landon's friends' apartments with his roommates. Super creepy. We stayed there for about a month. Things got like weird between everybody. Really not even between everybody, just between a couple people. But we ended up not staying there either. And so, yeah, that's when Landon and Talia actually fell out, and she left us. This is when we were staying with them. So that was probably like August into September, maybe. So for the last month that we pretty much were sleeping in the car, we used to park at McDonald's in the West End and chill. Cause you know, like, we had money for gas, we had money for food sometimes. Sometimes we didn't have money for food, or we only ate like once or twice a day, off like the dollar menu at places. But I would, like, you know, and I was working this entire time. Like, I would go to work and then come back, and then, you know, we would just be outside. Like, you know, it really wasn't no way to explain it in terms of In terms of like bathroom stuff, was already a connoisseur of like peeing outside, so I didn't really care too much about that as long as I had privacy and a place to do it. But if we could find places to go to the bathroom, that we obviously would. For a short period of time, we were showering at a gym. We would go to Planet Fitness because we had a Planet Fitness membership. But after we stopped paying the membership, of course, we couldn't shower there anymore. We would also like go to like friends' houses and stuff where we could like shower or use the bathroom or stuff like that. But after a while, like those would turn into like wherever we could wash up at. So yeah, like it was really intense. Like I could say that. It was like I wouldn't even say intense, but it was just kind of like we did not have money. So we could eat and we could get around, and at the very least, I guess if there was like an emergency, I could go home, which is how I felt the entire time. It was like, if we don't find a resolution by this date, I'm going home. So we got our apartment. If you check out the eviction story, you know that we got kicked out of that, and so we experienced our second bout of homelessness until I could move to my next apartment in Sandy Springs. So the second time it was not as bad. The second time, oh, I forgot. The first time I think we did a hotel once. I don't remember. And then I had my own hotel when I ran away, but again, different story. But the second time we stayed in a hotel in downtown Atlanta. Very much so crackhead energy, very much so really creepy. Okay, but we ordered like a lot of DoorDash and stuff, which probably wasn't the smartest idea since we had a car. We could just like go get food. And that probably would have been a whole lot cheaper than like paying the extra money to order stuff online. But we sad. We don't want to go outside. We were depressed. Like the only time we left was to go to work, because at that point in time both of us were working. I know, right? So crazy. But both of us were working. And so we would literally I would only leave to go to work, to be honest. He would go do stuff, but I was only leaving to go to work. And so we stayed in a hotel, and then someone had mentioned to us a apartment complex kind of sort of thing, boarding house situation called Pembroke. It's out in, not necessarily, like I think it's like Morrow, Jonesboro. Like to me that's like all the same area, but I know it is not. But yeah, we ended up staying there for maybe a week or 2 weeks. I really cannot remember. Because the second bout didn't last as long. It was literally only probably about 2 weeks, honestly, because I moved into my new apartment around the 1st of March. I think I moved into my apartment like on March 5th-ish, but it was definitely March when I moved into my apartment, and we got kicked out on the 15th of February. So it really wasn't that long, but we stayed in a hotel for a few days, and we would just like pay every day. And then we moved to Pembroke, and then to stay in Pembroke for like a week only cost like maybe $100 or $150, depending on how many people were staying with you. And we decided to opt for a room with a private bathroom so that we didn't have to share a bathroom with anybody else. And they brought us a TV, and like, the first couple of nights we were kind of like okay. But then after that, things got like really tense between us because we all have our own things going on, and men don't share their feelings. They just get angry and go away. So after that, again, I'm still going to work every day. I was still working downtown doing hookah. After that, I found an apartment and I moved into my apartment, and that was pretty much that. And yeah, like that April, it was my birthday, and that's when I got Bentley, and this is 2018 at this point, and yeah, it was a lot going on. I really don't know if there was more drama before I moved to Sandy Springs or after I moved to Sandy Springs, but it was all drama, to be honest. But that's pretty much my homelessness story. We were not like on outside of the road or anything like that, but we on the streets, like for real. But we definitely would like go get our McDonald's and like park somewhere and eat in the car, or sometimes we would get out at a park and go eat in a park or something. Like, we really did try to make a best out of a really bad situation, but that's just kind of what it was. I wasn't scared or panicky. Sleeping in the car was probably hard at one point in time because it was really hot. So we would have to let the windows down and things like that. But, you know, so yeah, that's pretty much it. This is your second reminder to to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be notified every time I post a video on this channel. Leave a comment down below if you have like any other questions about like what I did or what I didn't do, because I know a lot of people are like, why didn't you go to a shelter, why didn't you go home, all this other type of stuff. I'll be happy to answer those questions in the comments. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today in this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
She's a